What is widely considered to be the first horror movie made? Well, it's The House of the Devil, and it was made way back in 1898. What is the name of Neve Campbell's character in Scream? Ah, that would be Sidney Prescott. In Jeepers Creepers, the creeper rises every how many years to feed? The answer is 23 years. What is the name of the summer camp where Friday the 13th takes place? It's called Camp Crystal Lake. So, here's a question for you. What kind of allergy does Charlie have in Hereditary? Think about it for a second. Got it? The answer is a nut allergy. Now, let's dive into another classic. What is the name of the possessed young girl in The Exorcist? If you're a fan, you probably know this one. The answer is Reagan. All right, moving on to the next question. In which state does the Blair Witch Project take place? This one might be a bit tricky. The answer is Maryland. All right, let's dive into 2017's spine-chilling adaptation of it. So, who plays Pennywise in 2017's It? Well, it's none other than Bill Skarsgård. Moving on to a classic that still haunts our dreams, The Ring. In The Ring, how long do people have to live after watching the eerie videotape? The answer is 7 days. Now let's talk about the darkly comedic horror film Bride of Chucky. Who plays Chucky's love interest, Tiffany, in Bride of Chucky? That would be the talented Jennifer Tilly. So here's a question for you. Who directed the acclaimed horror movies Get Out and Us? Well, the answer is Jordan Peele. All right, moving on. Do you know what year the first Saw movie was released? It hit theaters in 2004. Now, let's dive into a classic. What is the name of the man Dr. Caligari controls in the cabinet of Dr. Caligari? That would be Cesare. All right, here's a fun one. Which horror movie stars Jennifer Love Hewitt, Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Ryan Phillip? If you guessed I Know What You Did Last Summer, you're absolutely right. Next up, a classic. In which city does Rosemary's Baby take place? The answer is New York City. Creepy, right? And finally, let's talk about Silence of the Lambs. There are two serial killers at the center of this chilling film. What are their names? They are Buffalo Bill and Hannibal Lecter. Scary stuff. Question. In Halloween, Michael Myers as a child kills his teenage sister. What was her name? Answer, Judith. Question. Which author of scary books holds the record for the most book-to-movie adaptations in the horror genre? Answer, Stephen King. Question. What title is Danny crowned in Midsummer? Answer, May Queen. Passengers must survive what kind of outbreak in Train to Busan? A zombie outbreak? What is the name of the hotel Jack Torrance is hired to care for in The Shining? The Overlook Hotel. Who plays Freddy Krueger in A Nightmare on Elm Street? Robert Englund. So here's a question for you. What is the real name of the Black Bride in Insidious Chapter 2? The answer is Parker Crane. All right, moving on. Do you know what year the original The Texas Chainsaw Massacre was released? It was 1974. Now let's talk about a classic. Who plays Norman Bates in 1960s Psycho? The answer is Anthony Perkins. (1922's) Nosferatu is an unofficial adaptation of which vampire book? The answer is Dracula by Bram Stoker. Which city were Alex and his classmates flying to when he had a disturbing premonition on the plane in Final Destination? They were flying to Paris. Who directed 1963's The Birds? The answer is Alfred Hitchcock. All right, here's a tricky one for you. The Witch, one of the best witch movies to come out in recent years, takes place in what year? The answer is 1630. Moving on to something a bit more gruesome, what is the name of the killer in the Saw franchise? If you guessed Jigsaw, you're absolutely right. Now, let's test your knowledge on horror movies and their origins. Which horror movie isn't based on a book? Frankenstein, Bird Box, Interview with the Vampire, or A Quiet Place? The correct answer is A Quiet Place. So here's a question for you. What is the name of the spacecraft the crew is aboard in Alien? If you guessed the Nostromo, you're absolutely right. All right, moving on to another classic. In which city does 1992's Candyman take place? The answer is Chicago. Now, let's talk about a versatile actor in the horror genre. Which actor appears in all these horror movies? The Purge, Sinister, and The Black Phone. The answer is Ethan Hawke. Pretty cool, huh? How many killers are there in The Strangers? The answer is 3. Who played Carrie in 1976's Carrie? That would be Sissy Spacek. Comment down below. Tells us your favourite movie and how many have you gotten right so far. Let us continue. So, what is the name of the pop-up book that Samuel asks Amelia to read to him in The Babadook? The answer is Mr. Babadook. All right, moving on. Do you know what year Let the Right One In was released? Well, it was released in 2008. Now, let's talk about the Conjuring universe. Which actor and actress play Ed and Lorraine Warren? The answer is Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. Finally, in It Chapter 2, the Losers Club reunites after how many years? The answer is 27 years. I hope you enjoyed this horror trivia. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more haunts and spooky tales.